Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the world famous Hawaii Theater. We are Headliners Hawaii.
I'm Dita Hollyfield.
And I'm Romeo Valentine, your host. And today we have a very special guest, the one, the only, Alex Tarrant.
Welcome.
What an introduction. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Man, that made me feel really special. Thank you.
You are special, man.
So excited to have you here. You know, you are a giant success story and a part of the fabric of Hawaii. You know, I think, you're so beloved and you ensconced in the community, but you landed here basically through your casting of NCIS.
Yes. So I came over here in 2021. And I mean, that's so kind of you to say that. The part about being ingrained in the fabric of Hawaii. That's so kind of you. I still feel like in some ways I have to earn that, and so I found ways to be able to give back, and I'd love to share that with you guys today.
I think that we're excited because I've been fascinated. Romeo and I were talking about how in the world are you a full-on New Zealander?
Right.
You look local, and then when you speak, it's just like you've lived here your whole life, and you're that local boy. You got your pidgin accent, all of that stuff. We're just fascinated to see, were you nervous when you got cast, and what did that feel like to know you're going to move over here and all of that stuff?
Yeah, a ton of imposter syndrome. And
You say imposter syndrome?
Yeah,
What?
imposter syndrome.
Okay.
I think that happens for most of the shows that I step into, but particularly for NCIS Hawaii, it was my first time doing. The dream has always been to break into the American film and television industry, and that was really my first opportunity. And so the other part of it, the other challenge is also having to do an accent.
Yeah.
And I'm so very lucky, and that's so kind of you. But the thing is I aim for like a general American accent, and if it falls off, people think that it kind of sounds a little bit similar to Hawaiian.
Yeah.
So I can kind of get away with failing and learning on the job, which I'm so grateful for. But I'm yet to dial down and really nail the pidgin accent, in my opinion, anyway.
So do you think like when you go out and people are like, man, you have an accent, do you think like, no, you have an accent? Because you haven't said anything. We've been like, man, you got an accent. And I always wonder, like, do people with accent think that we have an accent?
Yes. The answer is yes. But yeah, that's so interesting. I feel like, especially while I was doing the show, people couldn't tell that I had a New Zealand accent as much because as the more I do it, the more it kind of stays with me. But now that the show is done, unfortunately, my New Zealand accent and the strength of it is definitely coming back.
I was so surprised when I first met you and your lovely wife. You guys came down and saw our country band sing and all that stuff. And when you started talking, I was just like, holy moly's, like you have nailed it. I know your wife, the lovely Lucy, that's what I call her. I know she's a coach, a voice coach. Did she really put you through the mill, or how did you go American and then pidgin on top? What was that process like?
Yeah, okay. So Lucy, so both Lucy and I, we met at drama school.
That's
and
fabulous.
so in our first year of drama school, we got to know each other. And Lucy's, she's always been the star pupil and the star student. She knows how to ask the right questions, and with that, on top of that, she's able to apply, unlike anyone else that I know of. So for me to be able to draw from that well of knowledge, it's definitely helped my career. There's no doubt about that. She's my acting coach. She's my voice coach. So so grateful to have her in my life.
How long did it take you? Like, did you kind of get in like 20 days or what's that process? Because one of the things we love about Headliners Hawaii is that we're really trying to inspire the next generation, and everybody just wants to know, how did you get there? And so what did that look like time-wise, investment?
Yeah, I think I remember. I can't quite remember who said this or how they worded it, but it's like waiting for such a long time for everything to just go as fast as the flick of a switch. And so for me, I had spent 10 years in the New Zealand domestic film and television industry. I had dabbled in a few international bits and pieces, but coming over here, I think I got the audition, and then within a matter of 4 days, I ended up booking the role. And I think that's the fastest moving process that I've ever gone through in my auditioning career.
Wow.
And so it all happened very, very fast. I was working on Lord of the Rings of Power at the time. And so the day that I had finished, I was on a flight the next day over to Hawaii, and that's my first experience. So part of it is the imposter syndrome of figuring out I didn't even have time to let it sink in. We just land here and we're going. So yeah.
Wow. So when you get to Hawaii, I mean, what is that process like? You land, do they like put you up in a house? How does all this work, when you land a role like this?
Yeah.
What is that like?
For me, they placed me in the Marriott. So I obviously we all try our best to get as many seasons as we can out of a show, but when it's first starting, you can only be grateful and ask for one, and we'll try and make this the best season that we can. And so with that being said, I believe I spent 2 to 3 months in the Marriott, and my go-to food joint was ABC Store. And I literally...
What'd you get? Sandwiches?
Sandwiches. I got sandwiches. I got fruit. You know what? They actually,
fruit.
for me, they had a really nice array. And I, I'm not a super picky person.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like 5-star restaurant style for me. I would get home, go straight down to ABC Store, grab a few things, go back up to my hotel room, learn lines, sleep, get in the van, wake up, get in the van, and then we're off to work again.
Yeah.
So it was fast and furious for the first few months for sure.
I love hearing about the process, because sometimes we think, when you make it to the level that you're at and you just dropped, Lord of the Rings. I mean, you previously did some really big stuff, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But, just the journey of the sacrifice, the humbleness that you go through. I mean, just this little story about you ingratiating into the state and your new place to live. It's very inspiring to me.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. Yeah, thanks.
I'm still baffled that you, hung out at the ABC Store so much.
Maybe we can
I
get
never
them
heard
as a
that.
sponsor.
That was like the spot.
I would happily be sponsored by ABC Store.
Usually people are like, this restaurant, and you're like, the ABC Store. Sandwiches, fruit
that
bowls.
blue and white sign got me good, man. I was in the middle of Waikiki, and there's a lot going on in that place, and really what I needed was something just fast and simple, so that I could just concentrate on the main thing, which was the priority was NCIS Hawaii, and learning my lines and making sure that I wasn't holding everybody up, because I arrived, they had already started shooting. And so I believe for the first 2 weeks, I had a body double who would, so they would shoot over my body double. And then the moment that I arrived in Hawaii, it was my scenes for the first 2 weeks straight. So
Wow.
It was a lot of work.
It's nerve-wracking.
Cramming for an exam, to say the least.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
Quiz.
So true. Yeah.
So the character that you played, I'm sure hearts are fluttering all over, the islands right now, because I can say even myself that I was just like, oh my God, who is that local guy? He's so hot.
Stop
like,
it.
Seriously. So, what was it like to take a serious approach, but also not knowing, a lot of local guys? How did you just mix that and nail it so well?
So I feel very, very lucky. So I come from Polynesian descent. So I am Māori, Samoan, and Niuean. So with that being said, we're all related. We're all cousins. I believe there's a amazing waterman who I actually met on NCIS Hawaii. He has a beautiful saying, Brian Kealana. He says, we aren't divided by land, we're connected by water. And so with that being said, I never knew anything about this culture, but the moment I arrive here, there's so many similarities to New Zealand, and the people are very similar. So I can understand that to some extent, our experiences and our ancestors' experiences have a common thread.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I don't feel like sometimes I feel like there's certain things that I can't do justice because I don't know what it's like to grow up here. I don't know certain aspects of what it's like to grow up in Waimanalo, which is where the character came from. But there's certain similarities and experiences culturally that I know I can relate to that.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is like, even being from here, I grew up here and, there is different areas, right? Like that there's Waianae, Waimanalo, there's town, there's Hawaii Kai. And I guess unless you grew up there, you wouldn't even know even if you're here. Because, you kind of like have the idea, the stereotype, like, oh, man, you from Waianae?
Yeah.
Or you from Nalo? Then,
I never realized how much of a, like what high school you go to, where you are, where you live on the island. It's almost like street cred.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
And it connects you.
Yeah, right. Yes.
What year? What school you went?
What year you
Did people ask
grad?
you that?
You,
They're like, are you local? What school you went?
I know that people think that I come from here until I open my mouth, and then they realize that I mostly get Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Got it.
I feel like, with New Zealand, Hawaii, Australia, all these places align that there's a great connection. Versus like if we were in the mainland, California, New York. So I think it blended well for you to just come to Hawaii and be like, it's home away from home.
Yeah, it very much feels like that, and I know I feel like I have to earn that. I have to earn that through ways of opening up the aloha in my heart and the way that I navigate through this island. So I try my best to be conscious of the way that I am trying to give back while I'm here.
Are you are you a music guy? Have you tapped in with a lot of like because New Zealand has a lot of artists that are very, very popular in Hawaii, like Sons of Zion, and a good friend of mine is Peter T.
Love Peter T. He comes from Hamilton. We went to the same high school.
You did?
Oh,
no
wow.
way! Oh shoot!
I didn't know him though.
Yeah.
But I remember listening to his music and hearing that he went to the same high school, and I felt so proud.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Beautiful singer too.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He's a lot more buffer these days, but
yeah. So in terms of the music scene, it's actually coming over here that I really learned to appreciate how far our music has traveled and also the connections and the ties that they've created. And I grew up listening to a lot of Kalohe Kai.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
So yeah. So it's interesting being back over here.
Wait, you grew up out there and you were listening to Kalohe Kai from here?
Absolutely. From
Whoa.
New Zealand. Yeah.
Dang.
Good days. Those were good days.
Yeah.
Roman is awesome, brother. He's so talented.
Yeah, super talented.
And been doing it for so long, but he still looks so young, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about your character as you grew him and he developed as a part of you and your personality. What do you think is the biggest difference when he started and then where you ended with him at the end of the NCIS?
Oh, yeah. That's a great question. So I think when I first started, Kai was a very, very serious character. And I think it's interesting. I remember hearing a quote that America was built on grit. Really, really gritty, hardworking men who had calluses on their hands and didn't feel the pain. And so I felt like I tried to find that inside Kai, someone who had been hurt through life experiences and relationships, but has in some ways calloused his heart. And it gave me the opportunity to be able to find ways to slowly just unravel the constructs within that's kind of like holding him back from being able to open up. And so I think slowly towards the end of the show, you started to see a more jovial, jokey
You did
side
see him
of
more
Kai.
jovial. And I saw you started talking to other people too, women and stuff like that. Just kidding.
Opening up. You just kidding? I feel like you did.
Finally, we're like, who is he going to date?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, so you watched the show?
I totally am a super fan. I'm just trying to be like that. I'm just trying to be cool right now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
You are cool. What
so
you trying?
kind.
You don't have to try.
May I ask what did you what did you love about the show?
Oh, I loved so many things about it. I loved that the iconic places that you guys shot. So for people that live here, just going, there's Pearl Harbor, or that's my backyard, but they're faking it. It looks like something else. Like, it's just so fun for those of us that live here, so that it's just great to see the twists and turns of all the different storylines, but how it always ties back to saving the day. Who doesn't like a save the day show at the end? The heroines and everybody has, done right for our community. I just loved it. Plus, y'all were fun and funny. And the dynamics of how you guys all developed as well.
Yeah, thank you. I think I remember hearing within the show, yes, we're solving crimes, but at the end of the day, the thing that keeps people coming back is the relationships. And so I got to say, the people who I got to work with, the crew, phenomenal. The cast were just, we're all really, really ohana, to be completely honest. We would, in the weekends, we would go over to each other's houses and hang out.
Oh, that's great.
And you don't get that in every show. But we were so lucky, and I know that all of us were we felt so fortunate to be here, creating something like that.
I'm hungry, Romeo. Really hungry.
I know a spot.
Really?
A really good spot.
Okay.
I could taste it at the tip of my tongue.
What kind of food is it?
Domino's.
Oh.
Everybody loves Domino's.
I love Domino's. Carry out, take out, you name it. Delivery. I love pizza.
Yeah. And I order it from the app straight up.
Ooh.
It's easy. I'm like, I'm futuristic.
I don't have an app, but I need one really badly.
You can go online, Domino's.com.
Domino's.com.
Yeah.
I'm going to download it. Let's go get some pizza.
I'm ready. I'm gonna get a pizza and a sub, and oh my gosh, no, I'm gonna order this thing. It's like this bread, and you dip it, and it's so good. Super.
All right, let's
Fine.
go.
Let's go.
So good.
I have a question. Being in acting, it's could be a roller coaster, right? Now you've auditioned, and sometimes you don't get callbacks. What is the one callback that you really wish you got, but you might not have?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh man, I'm sure there's so many, but inside this, I fell in love with golf, and inside golf, there's this thing where you kind of have to have the mind of a goldfish. You have to kind of
you just
forget.
let it go.
Yeah. So I'm sure there are so many, but for me, the only one, there was a film that came out kind of recent. The one that comes to mind is Rebel Moon. Do you know Rebel Moon?
No.
It was a Netflix television. It was a Netflix film. Zack Snyder, who done he done the Justice League films.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so I think there was one that's the one that I auditioned for, but I auditioned as I just got NCIS Hawaii. And I think that was one that I loved the world. And from my memory, I would have loved to have been a part of that world.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. So you opened the door for the stories about golf.
Yeah.
You love golf. That's your whole new thing. Your wife said that if you could just play golf, you would be happy.
Yeah. There's some truth in that for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
What does
So-
golf do? Because I mean, I don't play golf. I mean, what is?
Yeah.
What is?
Well, I have to advocate for the city and county of Honolulu
Yeah.
because Alex is going to help the municipal courses. He's playing all the courses. He's going to do videos, kind of showcase what's the best the city
Okay.
has to offer. But I'm not going to speak for you. Why do you love golf?
It's an amazing balance of there's a certain amount of physicality. It's a mental game, but it's also an emotional game. So it's a well-rounded game. It's me against myself. So when I first got here, I'd done a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Ooh.
But
Sick.
yeah, but there's such a high chance of getting injured. There's a high chance of me scratching my face, and then I have to go and explain it to
Yeah,
make
no,
up.
we don't want to mess up your face. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kidding.
the moneymaker, right? Yeah, and so I had to find something that that gave me a certain amount of pushback, and I suck. I like. The truth is, I actually.
I think
guys
that's
like
about
us, though.
99% of the people that play golf in general.
Yeah,
feel
but
that.
it's how do you learn to still love it and enjoy the time when you're getting your butt kicked? I think that's the best challenge for me. It's very self-reflective.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's why I was worried. That's honestly why I don't play golf, because I'm like, I'm probably terrible.
Yeah, but you
Terrible.
kind of have to open yourself up to the acceptance
Yeah.
of knowing that like it's not going well.
Yeah, I did Top Golf. That's why, and I experienced. I was like, if this works out, then I might
Topgolf.
go to a course.
Yeah.
This did not work out.
I'm not going to a course.
For me, I love golf except the the first tee. Like, why do they have to put the first tee in front of the clubhouse, the walk of shame, all of the golf carts? Why? Why can't you start in the secret part?
But
Because then you
isn't
can
that just
warm up
such an
and play
amazing
better.
challenge?
That's the intimidating part of golf to me.
I hear what you're saying.
Just that complete walk of shame.
Yeah, I guess there's parts of it that relate to the film and television industry as well. Whereas, you know, we're sitting, cameras are in front of us, a whole bunch of people are just staring our direction. So you kind of have to learn how to execute. And there's a certain mental aspect to being able to get over the fear and self-consciousness. And that first tee right in front of the clubhouse.
Right?
Some people live for that, you know. I'm learning how to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. What is the funniest celebrity moment that you've had since you moved here as you being the star? Like, did you get bum rushed or someone screamed your name, or what's the funniest
Or did
thing
a background
that's
worker tackle you? No, I'm sorry.
happened? What's the story that just lit you up when you said, you know what, this is a great place to be?
Oh, that's such a good question. You know what's funny? I guess the idea of fandom here, it's not really the same as it might be over in, let's say, California or just continental US.
Yeah.
So I actually, to be completely honest, I don't have any stories like that. But I think oh yes. Oh, what was that?
It's the goldfish in him.
Yes, yeah.
It's the goldfish.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is actually a really sweet story. It's, I guess it's not funny, but it's very, very touching. There was an amazing, a very, very beautiful, devout fan of the show who we actually met in a car park, but we set it up beforehand. I had a whole bunch of Wally's T-shirts, which is my character's father. He owns a restaurant called Wally's.
He does own Wally's.
Yeah, and so as gifts to the crew, we ended up printing out the Wally's sign and giving it out to our wonderful cast and crew.
That is so
Yeah,
sweet.
but we had spares left over, and there was an amazing fan who sent a beautiful message about how how the show affected her and helped her through a certain tough time. And so with that being said, we gathered, we met up at a car park, and I gave her the rest of the shirts.
Wow.
And we hung out in the car park just having a chat. And I think that's probably one of the more meaningful interactions that I've had. But I think the idea of fandom here is people are just so respectful.
Yeah.
And in some senses, they almost like couldn't really care who I am. And I kind of like that. At the end of the day, I'm just this is my job. I absolutely love it. But you know, it's weird doing a podcast and me just hearing myself chatting on, and I'm just like, shut up.
No, this is good, man.
It's wonderful.
But no, I do really appreciate being here.
I think it's really cool that, you it must feel great. You're in a position where you can bring joy to somebody's life because of, the job you have, and you don't deny and ignore it.
Yeah, I understand that there's a certain amount of responsibility within this career, and when we're given the spotlight, not just how we use it, but how we navigate ourselves outside of the realm of being on a film set. I don't take it lightly. I feel like as a Polynesian actor, there's when we're given the spotlight, it's important how we use it.
Yeah. I think in Hawaii, like what you were saying is like, people are very respectful versus like, in California, they'll just bum rush you.
Scream your name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hawaii
on
people.
I've never experienced
car,
that before.
take pictures.
Wow.
Selfies.
Wild.
We just like to be like, bro, that's him right there.
Yeah, we're just like, oh my God, because we're so humble people. We're like, hey, you go say hi. No, you go say hi.
If there's anything here, sometimes I recognize people going out of their way to let me know that they do not care who I am.
Oh, that is so hilarious.
Yeah. Which is kind of I respect that.
Yeah.
I want to speak to your humbleness, and I don't know. I'm sure I don't even know a grain of salt of all the things that you and Lucy have done for the community, but just one small little thing that I know. And we had just hung out and talked to each other. Y'all didn't even tell me you were doing this, but you showed up. You served food to the less fortunate, the houseless, for the Salvation Army Thanksgiving dinner. She was serving the food and you were taking it out, and vice versa. And, no fanfare, you didn't even tell me, and you knew I was in charge of the whole thing. And I just, like, wow. It makes me emotional about just speaking about who you guys are. And, thank you for coming and giving, and not taking, but always giving. You want to talk about anything that you did like that, since I've outed you for that one?
Yeah. Well, yeah, first off, thank you. And I think, it's such a honor. I'm so grateful to be here on this island, and there's certain opportunities that, to be completely honest, the character of Kai, if we're addressing the elephant in the room, it actually should have gone to a local character, a local person. And the thing is at the moment, in New Zealand, we have our own industry where we're allowed to try things and fail, and we create shows in New Zealand for New Zealand. Over here, you're competing on an international level. So we actually have a place where we're able to try things, fail, fall on our face, and have successes. Yeah. So that gave me the confidence to be able to try for more, and eventually branch out into an international. What's the word? Branch out internationally.
Yeah.
Over here, there's not an opportunity, or not very many opportunities like that. So for us to be able to work with a nonprofit organization called ICANN, it's given myself and my wonderful wife / acting coach / PA /
DJ extraordinaire.
Yeah. Essentially the brains the brains of the operation. So
I will vote for that.
yeah, absolutely. And so we have been given the opportunity to be able to help. It's not even upskill. It's just share knowledge and experience and find common ways of connecting and supporting each other to be able to help the talent here rise, because it's most definitely not for a lack of talent. It's just for giving people the ability to be able to connect and help each other hone skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can with ICANN, being from Hawaii, you're an aspiring actor or actress, and this is just an amazing community. I follow ICANN on Instagram, and I'm a huge fan.
I just
And-
learned what it was today myself.
Oh, really?
So, mhm.
I've been following it, for a while, and I love it because everybody's. I see the amount of talent that comes in there, and just to support the local acting community, and I see that I see a lot of my friends over there that just joined to. How can people come and be a part of that?
Yeah, see, that's I'm not the brains of
Yeah.
the operation, but I know that there are certain people within the organization. I'm sure there's a website. I'm sure there is. So my wife is putting her hand up. Is that? Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm sure there's ways, internet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think this is such a crucial time within the Hawaiian film industry to be able to help people be ready for the next wave of film and television that comes over here. Because I think that there are a lot of stories that are a lot of Hawaiian Kanaka stories that are wanting to be told. And so ICANN is helping get everyone ready.
Yeah, that's
for
what I
the
feel like is
opportunity.
happening, right? Because
Yes.
it slowed down a little bit in Hawaii, but it'll come back, is what you're
Yes.
saying. Like, it's about to just be ready for it, 'cause when it
Yes,
happens.
absolutely. In what way, shape, or form, we'll soon find out. But I think it's an exciting prospect for us, and I think it's really crucial right now for us to all be getting ready for that wave.
Wow.
And the way that we do that is by banding together, helping each other, and uplifting the community, upskilling, and getting ready to attack it.
Wow, that's very inspiring, and that brings a lot of hope to the film industry in Hawaii.
Yeah, and
hearing that.
all the people watching and their friends and family that are wanting to get into the business like you. Well, we're gonna do something fun now.
Okay, let's go.
We're gonna play mine and Romeo's game called Either or Neither. So we're gonna give you two choices, and then you can pick either and tell us why, or you can say neither and really tell us why.
Oh, I
So,
just got nervous all of a sudden. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
You want me to start? Okay,
can.
how about this? Coconut water or pineapple juice?
Ooh.
Either. I drink both. Oh, I'm happy with either.
Either.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, very good. And then a water sport or a water board sport?
Oh, man. I wish I could say either, but the truth is neither. Why? I grew up in a very, very famous surf town called Raglan in New Zealand.
I even actually know that.
Yes. I grew up on a board, but I have a very, very vivid memory of sitting on my board and just seeing my father get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So I got caught in a rip, and it shook me. And I'll leave it there.
Yeah. No, once you get traumatized in anything, it's kind of hard to get over.
Yeah, it's
All
taken
right.
a while to get back on the horse for sure.
Yeah,
Very
you just
good.
got to go to a couple
Therapy
what is that?
sessions.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. You pulled it out of my head. I was like, what is that word? What was that meeting I went to last week? No, I was with the one guy where we sat on the couch. Yeah, therapy session.
When I was lying down looking at the room.
And I just started crying. Island vibes or the Hollywood hustle?
Oh, what's the Hollywood hustle? What is that?
When you're ensconced in just everything Hollywood, how you look, what you're doing, where you're going, your whole life centered around.
Avocado toast or no?
Oh, okay. It's,
That's a good one.
Hollywood what?
Hustle.
Hollywood hustle or island vibes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, either, because I feel like to be in this industry, I have to be comfortable with both, but more importantly, I have to be comfortable with myself existing as I am in both worlds.
That is such a great answer. That is
Should run
deep.
for governor or something.
Yeah.
Man.
Deep
You know,
guy. I'm a deep guy.
This guy's cool.
I'm a thinker. No. Yeah.
Okay, so mine is TV or movies.
Ooh, that's a really good one. Obviously, either in terms of watching and in terms of being cast. I'll take either. I'm unemployed at the moment, so no, I'm in limbo. I'm waiting. I was very, very lucky. I got a pilot for a television show.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
but
you,
would it
thank you.
take you from us?
I don't know.
Oh, don't
can't
break
say
our
yet.
hearts. We just fell in
I
love
don't
with
want
you.
to say yes.
Can't
Oh, that's
sign
so
the
kind
NDA.
of you.
Yeah. All right. So the answer was either. Just TV, everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, how about this? Would you time travel to the past or the future?
Ooh, that's
Either.
so
Just
good.
the idea of being able to time travel is just.
What would you do in the past?
In the past, I would say hello to all of my my little selves that were going through a tough time.
Oh,
And,
that's so good.
Yeah. And in the future, I would enjoy the view of the fruits of my own labor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Just it's a journey, right? And you go through life's challenges, and then you see like the end game of it all.
Yes.
Because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
Okay. Spam or poke?
Oh.
Spam musubi or poke?
ABC store has spam
man,
musubi.
either.
They do.
Yeah, either. Musubi, I fell in love. I never had one while I was in New
musubi.
Zealand. Yeah.
Wait, they
So it
don't
was
have
my
that in New
first
Zealand?
time. No. Well, not that I know of anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was my first time, and I fell in love with both really.
Yeah.
So we have very similar name, poke.
Mm-hmm.
We call it poke, and it's a dessert.
Okay. I just want to say my
Yeah.
layman ears sounded the same. Can you say it
Yeah.
again?
Oh, so no. So in New Zealand, there's I believe it's Samoan, but there's a dessert called poke as well. And so in New Zealand, we pronounce poke. And yeah. You know what's interesting? To sidetrack from this game, but I think it's I always try my best to pronounce the names as what's the word, as authentically as I can.
Exactly.
Yeah, I try my best to anyway. Yeah, and I might as well while I'm here.
Yeah.
Sidetrack. What's the hardest
Yeah.
word that you've had to translate since you've been here? That you just could not get it.
Yes, this was to do with my script. It was actually one of my very first Hawaiian words that I got, and it was ko'olave.
Ko'olave.
And I couldn't do the okina, the glottal stop. It was very challenging for me. I still can't, but I attempted it, and it seems as if I got away with it. But I'm sure the locals will know that's a bit off. But it is what it is.
No, what's crazy is like we can, I guess when a lot of people try and you say the Hawaiian words, we can tell. You got it down, bro.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you, bro.
You got it down where it sounds like, this guy is from here.
Oh, that's kind. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
A little confidence boost right
Yeah.
there. Thank you.
That's one. Let me think. Okay, hold on. Now it feels like I feel the pressure.
Now you
I go-
feel the
Yeah,
pressure.
Okay.
you should.
Okay. How about this? Performing in front of a live audience, since we're here in the Hawaii Theater, or being behind the camera.
Oh, that's good.
It used to be either now. I grew up in theater.
Oh, wow.
Well. So I didn't grow up acting, but the moment I turned 16, I went to a different school. I went to 2 high schools. First one didn't do very well. Second one, I felt like I could kind of reinvent myself or recreate myself.
Yeah.
And so I joined a theater group. I didn't fall in love with acting. I fell in love with the community. And so for a few years, I started off in theater. I went to drama school, but I always knew that my heart was set on being in front of a camera instead. And so I said no to theater for a very, very, very long time.
Wow.
I think I haven't done theater for a good 12 years at least.
Do you keep your chops, or do you have to kind of get back into theater?
I think I would be a bit rusty, but I feel like I would be willing to give it another shot now. But
So you just feel at home where we are right now?
it's harder to be myself in front of the camera than it is to be a character. Yeah. So every now and then I struggle with the idea. You know, I am having to figure out myself this very moment and not necessarily say the things that you want to hear, but the things that come from my heart and from my authenticity. So yeah, it's a balance.
Wow.
Very good.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying the podcast. I'm Dina Holyfield.
Romeo Valentine, the host of Headliners Hawaii, and Dita, this place is amazing. I can't believe we're in the Hawaii Theater.
I got chicken skin just thinking about it. There's so many great shows,
Yes.
so many things to do here all year round at Hawaii Theater. We want you to come out and enjoy what we get to do all the time.
Yes, and you're not going to miss out, okay? So don't have FOMO. Get over to the Hawaii Theater, hawaiitheater.com. You got to get your tickets. Check out the calendar list throughout the year, every year, all the time. Now let's get back to the show.
So in the beginning, you were talking about you started locally in New Zealand, and I saw, I was fascinated. I'm going to have to like YouTube it or whatever, but I saw you were a star of the Filthy Rich. You were
Yes.
Filthy Rich. What was that like?
I'm still waiting for that check to come in.
What was that your very first show? I was trying to go back. You can talk about
Well
your.
done, though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But that looked like super fun. You were like an illegitimate child.
Yes.
Yeah.
To one of the richest men in New Zealand.
That is crazy fun. So tell us
Yeah.
about that character. How'd you prepare and what made it really special?
Yeah. I mean, that was a amazing premise, and I remember working with the cast, and they were great too. We all went to the same drama school.
Oh,
So
that
we
is.
all knew each other in one shape. One of the main characters, Emma, she was a year ahead of me, and then there was me, and then there was Taylor, the man. So Taylor, he was the year below us. So the 3 siblings, we all went to the same drama school at the same time. We were just a year apart from each
That
other.
is so fun.
Yeah. And so we came out of drama school, we got the casting, we auditioned, we ended up booking the role. And for me, I felt certain connections to that character. Obviously, I get a lot of hard done by characters. And so it's
done
kind of
by.
like my wheelhouse, real like angsty, dark characters who are kind of going through something.
Yeah.
That's where I sit very well. So very, very similar character to how I am. But no, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was your favorite role that you had before you got to NCIS? Lord of the Rings, or what really stands out?
It was my very, very first show that I booked. Yeah. It was called When We Go to War, and it was a mini-series, a 6-episode mini-series about the Great War, the First World War. And the character that I played, I can't believe I still remember this. I guess it's how highly I hold it in my heart. The character's name was Manaki Kokiri, and he was a very, very religious, devout man who went to the war, and he became one of the most elite snipers in the war for New Zealand. And he comes back to New Zealand with PTSD and the need to have to navigate that world. So I found a lot of what's the word? I found a lot of things boil up in myself as I explored that character. And I think during that time I was a very method actor. It was the only way I knew how to navigate it. I didn't have craft. I just had some sense of rawness. And so that got me through a lot of times on that show.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about. We'll sign an NDA, as Romeo said. What do you have in the future? What do you have in the future? You know, what can we look for? I know you kind of teased us with a possible series coming up, but tell us about what you're looking forward to in the next year or two in your career.
That check he was asking about. No,
Yeah, that check.
The filthy rich.
the filthy
Come
rich
on.
check. Where is it?
Manifesting filthy rich. No. I think for me, I'm very, very excited about the possibility of this new show, because it's pure comedy, which I had never done before.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's out of your wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And
Are you funny?
I don't know.
We like to laugh, right? I mean, I think
We
anybody
think
can be funny.
you're funny. You're
Oh,
good.
that's good.
Yeah,
Funny.
you're
You're
good.
delivering the lines great today.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But I've always taken my career very, very seriously, and so through that experience, I have somewhat lost a bit of my. It's not joy, but it's just finding the fun again. And so this opportunity, I feel like I'll definitely be out of my comfort zone, but I'll be surrounded by a whole bunch of elite comedians.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're smiling from ear to ear just telling us about it. So I
Yeah.
can see the joy that you have.
Absolutely. And I think that show will give me the ability to be able to find more joy in acting.
Yeah.
Not that I lost joy, but it's a different type of joy.
Are you a comedy buff? Do you like watching stand-up comedies and things like that?
You know what? I am, as you can probably already tell, I'm an extremely I'm a big thinker, and so I like to think of things intellectually. Dave Chappelle is just
Oh, I saw
Bro.
his Saturday Night
Another
Live
level.
bit the other night. That guy just keeps bringing you in and then just throws you over the cliff,
And you
you're
know it's coming.
and
Yeah.
you do, but you can't wait.
yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
him live?
I
That's
haven't.
that's a dream.
You haven't seen him live yet?
I will use that what's it called, the time machine to
To go out there.
to check if I'm going to watch him in the future, but I would love to.
I'm gonna say this: if you have to experience watching Dave Chappelle live, because it is like no other. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched him twice. He came to Hawaii, and then I was in Vegas for New Year's, and he was with John Mayer, and I was,
Yeah.
Wow.
bro, you gotta see Dave Chappelle.
Him and John Mayer?
Yes, him and John. It was
That
different.
seems different.
It was, but it was so dope because they did their sets separately and then they did it together. It was like really long, but it was like as long as it was, every piece of it was like incredible.
Yeah. They're brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you're a young family man too, you know, and I keep talking about your wife in this segment, but it's because I'm a super fan of hers, and
Yes,
she's a phenomenal talent. She's
Absolutely.
on the wrecking crew right now, but she's a great mom, and you guys really put your family first. I can tell in the little things that we've done together. Tell us about your joy of being a young family man.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of the choices that I make, it's so funny. I can be considered as a little bit like selfish, because once I get in I'm very keyhole in my perspective. But when I'm keyhole, the reason why I gun for one specific thing is because I feel like it'll benefit the entire. And so that's why I end up being very, very keyhole when it comes to certain things. My family, I don't feel like I could achieve a lot of the things that I have without them. And so whenever I even consider the idea of a new show, I have to make sure that wherever I go, my family goes. And so
Nice.
that's a part of the deal. And I can't, that's a make or break thing from me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men can learn from that, right?
You think so?
Yes, I think a lot of men like they'll just let me just no, but you bring your family with you. It's like you're one. You get the whole package.
Yeah, but it might be because I can't operate. Part of me will always think of them. So if I walk too far ahead, I won't be able to get as far because I'll always be looking back.
Where are they?
Yeah. So
wait.
I need them beside me. So
Yeah.
so I can concentrate on the keyhole.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So I would say, what is that? What would be your? This is like off topic, but what would you say was your biggest purchase that you made since you've got into acting, got the good check, and you're like, ha, it's time to blow some bread.
That's fun. That's good.
Yeah, so the biggest bro, I've spent so much money on useless things. Things that I thought I needed, that I convinced my wife that I need, and then I have it for about a day and I'm like, oh dang, I didn't need it.
I thought you were going to say a great set of Callaways.
Yeah. Well,
That too.
golf clubs I think are super important. But the biggest thing for me was definitely a car. So yeah. I the first thing that I kind of blew our first check on was our car.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it?
So we got a Tesla, but this was during the time when Teslas were like still super expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so in New Zealand we drive on the other side of the road, and the steering wheel is on the opposite side of the
Oh,
car.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so we were super scared to navigate these roads, and
Yeah.
we found out that Tesla has a self-driving capability. And yeah. So we bought the Tesla mostly for its self-driving capability. That if we needed to get out of danger, we'd just be like, "Take over, Tesla. You do it."
It's like an e-bike, except a lot more expensive.
It's like Uber without having to tip.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I would
man.
say, and I have no regrets on that purchase.
Holy smokes! I'm honestly, I haven't driven in a self-driving car. I'm a little nervous. Is
Yeah.
it okay?
Well, I was so nervous about driving that I trusted Tesla more than I did
Dang, you-
myself. Yeah. But now I feel comfortable enough to be like, no, I've got this one Tesla.
Yeah, Hawaii's not too bad to drive in.
It's different from New Zealand. I mean, there's a ton of potholes. There's so many potholes.
You got the pothole blues.
If there's
so
one
funny.
regret I have, I should have got like thicker tires because
Yeah.
we've had to change our tires quite a few
Oh
times.
my
It's a thing.
Yeah.
You
It's a
sure you're not
thing.
from Hawaii, man? I mean, you already know
Yeah.
about the potholes.
Yeah.
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 One of my favorite songs is High Water. What is it? Sand in My Boots.
Yeah. The Water Boys.
Yeah.
High Water is great, man. Those guys are out. But yes.
Yeah.
That is so funny because I'm just going to throw it out there. So
He's over there.
Our producer is in
The drummer.
Hiawatha.
No.
That guy, you see his hat, it says Water Boy.
out of here, bro.
Yeah.
He's the drummer.
We're amongst greatness right here. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you have?
Oh, and they're taking his picture and not ours.
Jordan. His name is Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
Jordan. First name Michael. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, so
Right?
true. Thank you.
That's so
Take
cool.
them to New Zealand. We want them to get over there.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Alex, it has just been such a privilege, and just seeing, your joy and hearing your journey. I know you're going to really inspire and affect a lot of people's lives in Hawaii. I know you have mine. You and your wife have been so inspiring to me as an artist too, and just how regular that you are. And I think if anything, that's my takeaway is your heart for Hawaii, your heart for people, and just how kind you are to anybody and everybody you meet. That's why you're going to make it even bigger than you have.
Thank you so much.
And the family aspect, man, that's awesome, brother.
It is.
That is great to hear. It's refreshing to hear. It's beautiful, man. I did have a question. It sounds like we're about to go, but I did have a question, man. And as we were sitting here, I was like, man, this guy has nice hair. What is your hair regimen, man? I mean, how do you get the curls, brother? Like your
Says
curls
the
is
man with the hair.
your curls is
I like your
like.
It's a bromance. I'm in the middle of
No.
a bromance right now.
I mean, I used to try and do the curls like that. My hair's not like too nappy, so I used to like I didn't get it down as good before I did this.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that.
So actually, before I only recently found this out, but it's aloe vera keeps the curls hydrated, and then there's also this
Do you do like the gel kind?
yeah.
And do you leave it overnight?
You can leave it overnight, but
Your wife's
honestly,
like, no, thank you.
yeah, this is a very recent discovery. It doesn't usually look
You do
like
have
this.
good hair.
Thank
That's
you.
a good call.
I just done it up because I'm coming here today. yeah.
I was like, bro, got some. I was like, the curls is solid, man.
Oh, thanks, bro.
yeah.
What it is? Black Jamaican castor oil in the form of gel.
Oh,
Wow.
and it has aloe vera in it.
Yeah.
Or you do two separate.
Two separate. Yeah.
Oh,
one
shit.
hydrates and then this other one, the other one
Locks
locks
it
it
in.
in. Yeah.
Oh, it's sick.
Headliners
I'm putting you
Hawaii.
on,
You
bro.
heard
Put
it
me on.
here.
See, I mean, once I cut this, I don't think I should, but it's starting to get heavy. So if I cut it, that was what I would go back to is the curls.
Oh, cool. Good on you.
Curls
yeah,
are dope.
yeah. You'd look great. Bromance.
Romance.
I feel like I'm not even here right now. But
Sorry, Dita.
it's totally good. Well, thank you so much for being here and the iconic theater, Hawaii Theater. And, to find out this is, where you started and your love for theater, it just kind of creates a giant synergy for us. But thank you so much what you did today to sow into our podcast and our people. We just wish you the best. You are one of a kind.
That's so kind of you to say. Thank you so much. Yeah. I feel like I've said kind so many times, but no, thank you so much for having me. I usually get really nervous about these kinds of things, but I just feel so, you've made me feel so comfortable. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the brotherhood, man. The bromance.
Yeah, the bromance.
the bromance.
But
Again,
Dita too.
Dita too. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the new
The
name
balance
of our
of the
podcast.
the balance of
Dita
Dita.
too.
Dita is amazing, man.
Yeah,
She's the
yeah,
best.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Headliners Hawaii. I'm Dita Hollyfield.
I'm Romeo Valentine, and
I'm
our very
Aloha.
special guest, Alex.
Tarrant.
Oh, I said your name wrong earlier.
Yeah, Tarrant.
Tarrant.
Yeah.
I said it wrong too.
I don't
Tarrant. I'm so
I
sorry,
don't care either way.
bro. I feel really silly now.
Don't feel like that. No, I've gotten it all my life. So please, just whatever you want.
Alex Tarrant. So you got to say it right. Alex Tarrant. You see, it sounds like the Tarrant. Either way, it sounds really cool. But ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Alex Tarrant. Woo!
Nice. Thank you.